When a third and final season of a Netflix series is announced, the first and possibly most crucial question one has is if the ending is actually an ending or if viewers will be left on a torturous cliffhanger for the rest of their natural lives. In order to avoid repeating myself, I will say that Locke and Key Season 3 is not only the most exciting and moving episode ever, but also a suitable conclusion to Locke and Key, and undoubtedly one of the best fantasy series seasons to be released this year. The Locke family fights supernatural forces with the aid of magical keys made by their forefathers in the Netflix original series Locke and Key. The three Locke siblings experience many highs and lows over the course of 3 seasons, taking advantage of the keys' benefits but also dealing with devastating personal tragedies. They ultimately have to choose whether to keep the magic or let it go. But first, they must utilize the keys once more to protect Matheson from the demon's attack. The third season ties up the loose ends and provides the Locke family with a satisfying conclusion to the narrative. Many topics are explained, yet some are left unanswered in order to leave viewers with questions long after the drama has ended. This is especially true in the final scene. The Locke's lives have changed significantly as a result of the events of the previous season. The fact that Nina is now completely knowledgeable about the keys has improved communication between her and her kids. She's happier in this state, where she is better connected with her kids, except Tyler. He had made the decision to accept his grown-up fate after Jackie's passing and to bid goodbye to all of his memories involving the magic and the keys. He's visiting Boston as his memories begin to fade as he approaches the age of 18. The Lockes were unaware that Eden had summoned Frederick Gideon back as an echo, who later killed her. He returns his 2 comrades back as echoes now that he is aware of the keys and that he is unable to steal them from the Lockes. They are permitted to take the Locke's keys because they are not demons. Gideon intends to gather all the necessary keys to unlock a new black door and set all demons free to attack people. Gideon chooses to open a second black door because the first one wasn't troublesome enough for the residents of Matheson. He learns that he requires the strength of every key to unlock a door to the other realm, which explains why he pursues the Lockes with such zeal. The Lockes are successful in obtaining the Alpha key in the last battle by employing the creation key. They use it to stab Gideon, throw him down the vortex he had opened, and then they discover an oddity. When Gideon enters the portal, it appears to shorten a bit. Tyler tries throwing the head key into the portal, which causes it to get even shorter. Therefore, closing the portal completely after dropping all the keys inside will happen gradually. And therein lays the problem. The keys, which were created with the whispering iron that emerged through the black door, are where the Locke family obtains its magic. The demons who failed to find a host among humans are called the Iron. They still have the ability to entice people to them, even when they are in the shape of keys. They insist on being used, which causes more issues. The Lockes eventually come to the realization that, despite the power the keys grant them, those problems are 10 times worse. Many innocent people have lost their lives in Matheson during the time they have tampered with the keys. They need to get rid of the keys permanently because if they keep them, no matter what they do, the same things will keep happening. The numerous catastrophes that the grown-ups have experienced as a result of them make it simpler for them to accept this fact. Tyler's girlfriend left him, Nina lost her marriage, and Kinsey almost died when it was revealed that her lover was actually Dodge. The emotional strain that the keys have caused them is too much for them to continue acting in the same way repeatedly. They are aware that adding another door to the gateway will not be sufficient to close it. If keys are present, doors can be opened. Bode must eventually come to terms with that as well. The Lockes use 2 of the keys for the last time as a farewell to them in order to find comfort in Rendell's passing. They visit him in the past using the timeshift key, which Bode had been itching to do ever since he learned about it. They talk to Rendell for a while, sharing details of their lives and their choice to throw away the keys. He won't recall it, but they will, and that is enough for them. To ensure that everyone in the family remembers the keys and their enchantment even as adults, they use the memory key to permanently seal Kinsey and Bode's memories of them. Once each key is placed, they continue doing so until all of them have been removed. Then, one by one, they chuck the keys in until there are none left and the portal is shut. All's well that ends well, and the Locke's troubles come to an end when all the keys are lost after 3 seasons of upheavals that nearly destroyed their lives. Any demon or other entity would have no motivation to seek them out if there were no magic keys. This entails leading a typical life with typical concerns and avoiding harmful situations. However, as we've previously seen, danger rarely stays away from the Locks for very long. They rarely experience prolonged periods of tranquility. The whispering at the end might suggest the same thing. The whisperings have been connected to the uncovering of the keys ever since the show's inception. A key will always whisper to the Locke children when it wants to be found. There may still be a few keys stashed away around Key House, based on the whispering we overhear towards the conclusion. It's time for the keys that haven't yet been found to emerge and play, since all the other keys have been lost. All of the keys that Gideon had used to open his own portal were ones that the Locks had used at some point in the past. In comparison to the actual portal behind the black door, the portal was likewise quite modest. It follows that using less energy to close it, which the Locks got from the keys they had at the time. This, however, says nothing about the keys that have not yet been found. Even Duncan, Ellie, and Aaron, who had been aware of the keys for more than 30 years, were unsure of the precise number of keys, therefore there is a strong likelihood that there are more out there. It implies that there might still be additional keys buried around the home, despite all of the ones the Locke siblings find over the course of the 3 seasons. This is also consistent with the comics, as the program omitted certain keys that were mentioned in the original material. Does this imply that the Locks will continue to wreak havoc in Matheson with their keys? Most likely not. Since the 3rd season of the show is about to conclude, it is unlikely that Locks will encounter any more issues involving magic keys. The fact that all of their experiences have made them wiser can also account for this. They are aware that keys are never as reliable as they claim to be. Therefore, even if they discover new keys, they will probably not use them. Bode is the one who is most likely to succumb to the seduction of the keys. His insatiable curiosity was the cause of numerous murders in Matheson's area. Considering that all the adults in the home are adamantly opposed to using them, hopefully he has also learned his lesson. Even if he does discover one, his family will convince him to give it up and hide it somewhere it won't be discovered again for a very long time. It's possible that the showrunners did this because they wanted to leave us with a chilling memory of the story, something that would linger with us just like the demons did in Matheson.